Hey everyone, thanks for taking the off-ramp to adventure. It's another road trip. We're trying to get down to the RV Hall of Fame, but we keep seeing stuff like this and we've got to check it out. Isn't this how the Greeks got in trouble back in Athens, back in the day with the horse thing? I've got a feeling the RV Hall of Fame is going to wind up being its own video.
We're Jim and Vanessa. Thanks for taking the off-ramp to adventure.
Oh, these are cuter than the Dickens. We'll take one of those on. What are they? Look like a cork in a jug or something. You got any idea?
They're a piece of a tree.
Okay, piece of a tree, all right. Very interesting place on the side of the road. And these are gorgeous. I think we're buying something.
You have the credit card?
Here we go. Boy, the cars are loud. Look at all these Amish buggies. I wonder if these are for sale. That is just cool. Oh wow, look, it's wired for electricity. Look at this. I don't know if this is the economy model or the sport model with the two wheels and the, instead of the four. Yeah, it's confusing. Got some huge pumpkins. Look at that, that's my hand. This is more my speed right here. And these. And they grow in different colors. How do they grow in different colors?
I have no idea.
It's a wonder. Nay, neighbor. I love this place. Look what we found, guys. This is an old drive-in in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And it's just off the road and you can't get to it. How frustrating is that? I take it back. We could find a way. It's private property. I mean, at one time it was a tiny drive-in, but oh man, this just makes your imagination run wild. What you could do with it. Do something with something like it. Not the best place in the world to have a drive-in though. Paint's all fading. All the memories. If you look at this area just off the road, you can see where the ticket booth was at one time, where it splits the lanes, goes all the way back. Love this kind of stuff. You can tell this is where they had the marquee. And the light that's shown on it. Wow, what a find. We thought we were just getting the grandkids. Okay, we did some research. We found out the 300-car Skyview Drive-In, as it's called, was abandoned, but renovation attempts are underway. According to what we found on Facebook, the big snag is being able to get a certified plumber and electrician to travel to the drive-in to do the needed repairs. So, if you're a certified plumber or electrician and love old drive-ins, maybe you could help them out?
This is Livingston, Tennessee. Of course, every town has a courtyard, and we are riding around. I'll show you the courthouse in a second.
Look at this building. Wow.
Look at the old bank. You know exactly what you got in that building. It says bank.
And this is the courthouse. It's amazing what you can find when you go looking for it, even if you don't know what you're looking for. Okay, it's got a target, but I don't think it's the target you're thinking about.
It's not.
It's a bullseye security. We were thinking, how cool would it be to have a target in an old store.
Okay, look at that. Wow, 1806. I would say that is probably the original sign of Livingston, Tennessee.
We have taken the off-ramp to Spring Mills Park in Indiana. We are about to time travel back to the 1860s. We weren't supposed to vlog today. We were just coming down to Spring Mill to look around and see the sights, but when you've got sights like this, it just gets your camera cranking. What's really great about Spring Mills, actors actually reenact life as it was way back when the town was created, what, 1814?
We missed our chance last night to see the village all lit up with the luminaries around the walkways, inside the homes. But we're here today, and although it's daylight, it still is a beautiful setting of just what it might have looked like back in Christmas time.
We'll take you outside for a quick look around. This is the actual condition people lived in back in the mid-1800s. Furnished the way it would have been furnished back during that time period. The table, they do have a fencing around it, and I'm doing my best to get in here. It is so compact. I think they originally came up with tiny house living. Huge. I'd like to have a fireplace like that at our house. Look at this. Actual vintage fire scooper thing, shovel for the fireplace. That is, I mean, ancient. Actually forged, you can tell where it's been hammered into place. That is cool. This is the old weaver's shop. See weaving? Looks like it's open. We're gonna go inside and see what's going on.
Louisiana, while bearing the colors of this country.
There's a guy telling a story. I don't want to interrupt him. I'm finding out that not only did people have to live in small spaces, they had to work in small spaces, made even smaller by huge things like this loom. Look at this thing. Made out of wood that doesn't even exist anymore. No. Went extinct because of some fungus. Dang, fungus?
This house here is the Granny White House. It was just a regular home that was in there at the time. It was erected in like 1820s, and then they refurbished it. I guess they had to build it a little bit. Some of it had been damaged in 1931. People in 1863 really had a hard life, you know, with not having any electricity. Everything was based on wood to heat their homes. But there was a piece of 1863 that they did make good, and it was the fun that they had. They did everything from having campfires and foot races and horse races, and really made sure that they continued to enjoy life even though the Civil War was still raging at that time.
I wish you could see these foundations in person. The chunks of rock, the wood, the way it's so rough, the hewn, and look how thick these windows are. You can actually put your hand behind here. I don't think they knew much about insulation back then. It was definitely a house that would house a lot of people and keep them warm. Look at the size of that fireplace. This is incredible. The village was powered, so to speak, by cave streams. Water rushing out from several caves nearby. The water not only ran the gristmill, but was clean enough that people could use it to wash their clothes, their dishes, and drink it. What I've always liked, though, is the architecture. Look at this fence, made of rock, strewn together, and there's mortar in between, so they don't move. Okay, here comes what sounds like the typical guy statement, but knowing my wife like I do, I'm having a really hard time picturing her actually living in this time with no washer, no dryer, no blow dryers. Then again, we wouldn't have power tools, would we? Or cars? Or yoo-hoos? Wow, life would be tough. I'm walking under the arch. This is a little garden area for the community. It's walled in, I guess, to keep the animals and pests out. This is another shot of the gardens and some of the homes. You talk about some solid construction. Look at this. Look at the way it's built. Look at these timbers. This has got to be part of a tree. This is not even a 4x4 or 4 by anything. It's huge. It's like a tree trunk. You know, making the decision to record after we got here late in the day is making us have to rush through these houses because we don't know when we'll be here again. Hopefully you guys can fill in the blanks when you come. Oh, bingo, look at that. Look at that organ. An old pump organ. In the setting of this house, this would have been the living room, I'm sure. And I think these people are the people who actually own the house. Of course, with a place like this, there was a lot of work, a lot of tilling the land, a lot of places to go and sell your wares. And these were their rides. Look at these vintage, actual buggies and wagons that were used in the mid-1800s to get goods and services to market and to get to church. Now this was for the fancy city slickers that needed a fancy ride. And here it is, the meeting house. This is where they had their general discussions about the neighborhood. What are we going to do about them dogs barking all night? And then there was a reverence of church. We're going to attempt to go inside, but I don't think it looks good. No, denied.
This park is huge. You just can't see it in one day. So they have a Springmill Inn. As you see this inn, it's huge. It is inviting, it is comfortable, and we just encourage you that if you come here, make sure you make time to stay.
Of course, with any state park, you've got to have an inn with reading material. This is the little free library. Ooh, James Patterson. And I could read that. How about something like this, hon? We could just wheel that on in the living room. Get it wheel on.
I like that.
Yeah, never mind. I'm supposing this was a daily driver back in the day. Is that where the horses connected?
Yeah, because here's where you sit.
I'm not sure what that was.
And this is like, I don't know what this was. What's this? Oh, there you go. That's the thing that's
That's something to hold on to if you're driving.
Yeah.
Oh, this, by the way, yes, this is the handbrake, which you also pull when she's driving. And as the sun drops and the moon rises, of course, we find ourselves coming to the Hamer Cemetery, which is what everyone would want to do right at dark, isn't it? Just as the sun's going down. The graves in this cemetery have got to go back hundreds of years, and it's named after this man, Frank Hamer. Look at these headstones. Can't even read the dates on some of them. Can't even read names. This is incredible, but here's a fresh flag. There's got to be a family member that's put that there. 1812. Right. Look at these. This is just incredible. Oh, here's one we can read. William Hamer. Can't make out much else though. 1858. Of course, there's not a lot to say about a cemetery, but it was just so classic with all these headstones. We had to stop and pay our respects. Here's some more of that stone fence work I was talking about earlier. Look at the gates to the cemetery. Classic wrought iron. This is incredible. This is incredible. I wish you guys could be here and see this history. We have to say thank you to Virgil Gus Grissom. His memorial is in Springmill. We didn't mean to say this for the last of the day when the sun was going down. Just kind of happened that way, but we had to say thank you to Virgil one more time and show you where his memorial is in Spring Mills.